Hey look, I'm actually putting up a weekly plan with me on a Thursday. Feels like it's been a while. Hello again team, it's Jess or JashiiCorrin and welcome back to my week 29 plan with me. In today's video I'll be setting up for the 13th through to the 19th of July, but before we get into that setup, first we're having a look at how this week is going. So far I've quite been enjoying this weekly. Given that I'm on holiday at the moment, I didn't really need a lot of space for each day. But because I'm also trying to plan my days in advance, I did want to have a space for each day of the week, rather than just a long-running to-do list. So far so good though, and I am very much looking forward to seeing it all completely filled in come the end of the week. Next week, Vogel and I will be going away on holiday, so I want next week's weekly to be suitable for that. Flipping on over though, just a reminder that, as per usual, any of the equipment I use in today's setup is linked in the description box below. This week's spread took a little over 22 minutes from first touch of the pen to final erasings. But as per usual, that doesn't include the penciling out, so probably closer to 25 minutes. For my decorations this week, I've gone with elements of the periodic table. In particular, the ones that are named after famous scientists. I only have 5 of them on here, there are more than that, but the ones I've gone for are curium, mendelevium, fermium, rutherfordium, and bohrium. What you'll see as I fill in the spread is that on each of these I include the atomic number, the symbol for the element, the year it was discovered, the element's name, and the name of the person it's named after. In terms of the questions that were left on my last weekly plan with me, our first one comes from Anita, who asked, what are you looking forward to in your trip to the Waikato? So the two main things we're looking forward to have to be the glowworm caves and Hobbiton. I feel I'm looking forward to Hobbiton more than Vogel is. I just want to do the touristy thing. I also think it'll just be nice to kind of have a change of scenery, get away for a bit. I certainly know that Vogel needs to have a break, he's not living his best life right now. But those are the things we're probably looking forward to the most. Our next question comes from MAO, who asked, is this a bujo which is completely made up from craft paper? So this one's the Neapolitan journal from Archer and Olive, so it has sections of white, craft, and black paper. Sadly, I'm getting towards the end of the first craft paper section, so I'm not too sure what I'm going to do next week, considering I only have half a spread left of craft paper for this section. But I still have some time to figure that out, so that's future Jess's problem. Our next question comes from I Am Hydra, who asked, how are you liking the craft paper? I am quite liking it, and I like how it makes my gel pens really pop. I think it's probably kind of the thing where after using it for maybe 2 or 3 months in a row, I'd kind of get a little sick of it, because it is a bit more restricting in terms of what materials I can use. For instance, I know I've talked about it previously, but I really like using my Tombos, and I can't really use them on the craft paper, because the colours don't come out the way I want them to. I do like that the craft paper itself kind of already feels like decoration. Like, my layouts are better for being on the craft paper, without having to do a bunch of extra decorative work. Maybe that's just my opinion though. That's also certainly one of the things I like about this journal in particular, because by the end of the year I'm going to have 2 months of craft paper, rather than have all 6 months on craft paper. And because I'm going to have each subsequent month on a different type of paper, it means I probably won't get sick of it. So this month is on craft paper, next month will be on black paper, and the month after will be back on white. Our next question comes from Kelly, who asked, what's your favourite subtopic to teach? So because my primary topic is chemistry, and that one is my favourite to teach, the subtopic in that I most prefer is structure and bonding. So looking at substances on an atomic or molecular level, and then linking their structure and bonding to the properties of those substances. I just like the way that you can link things on a microscopic level to the things that we experience on a macroscopic level. Our next question comes from Chasing Comets, who asked, what's your best advice for someone who wants to start a channel for their notebook? Well, I think the best piece of advice is to start. Looking back on the first videos I made nowadays, I know how nervous I was. The video quality isn't great, my choice of background sounds was not ideal, but getting started was the best way to learn. You don't need a lot of high-tech equipment or software to get started, so cutting out those kind of excuses and just getting into it is probably the best way to start. Also giving yourself a little reminder that the first things you make probably won't be the most perfect. They will probably have some issues, but making the videos is the best way to get better at making the videos. Our next questions come from Kim, who asked, what is your favourite animal, and what animals would you really like to have as a pet if you didn't have to look at anything or any laws? So I talked about my favourite animal a couple videos back. That one's a snail, but snails don't make the most exciting pets. My ideal pet would probably be one of those ones that is like ridiculously small and that's why it's cute. You know those like teeny tiny dogs which could like get lost in long grass that's like not even that long? I love the novelty of a small animal, but I don't have the time or inclination to look after one. Plus I don't like animal fur, so that probably wouldn't work. I think I'm much more the kind of person who would prefer to own plants rather than animals, especially if the plants are edible. Our next question comes from Jennifer, who asked, would you ever consider using a different sort of planner instead of a bullet journal? Now it's actually really funny you ask this because literally yesterday I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about my teacher planner and what I'm going to do for next year because I don't think I'm going to be getting another Erin Condren teacher planner for a myriad of reasons, but one of them being it's just really damn big. That and the fact that I know that it was probably a main contributor to my Bujo slump because balancing those two planners was kind of hard. I think one of the things that would stop me from getting a regular planner rather than using the bullet journal is that if I miss a week in a regular planner, there's a page that doesn't have anything on it. If I miss a week in my bullet journal, I just flip to the next page and it's as if it never happened. I can skip weeks or leave blank pages in my bullet journal and not kind of feel guilty. Whereas when I have a planner that has pre-printed weeks with the dates all filled in and all of that kind of stuff, skipping a week gives me this kind of blank space that's a reminder, hey, you didn't do the thing. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know. On that train of thought though, if anybody has any recommendations for teacher planners that aren't the Erin Condren, I would love to hear about them. Or even if there are ones that aren't necessarily designed for being teacher planners, but that you know are good quality and are worth checking out, I'd love to hear about those too. As always, thank you to our inquirers from last week. If you guys have any questions you'd like me to answer in next week's plan with me, please do drop those in the comment section. Alrighty, so we have a space for each day of the week, a space for my packing list, top 3 tasks for the week, and a space for notes or to-dos. Not too sure what I'm going to do next week at this stage because the craft paper section finishes here, and I don't really like the idea of mixing papers for 1 month. Like, I want all of July to be on craft paper, so not too sure what I'm going to do about that yet, but I guess we will just have to wait and see. Thank you for watching though, team. If you liked today's video, please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you wanted to see more from me, feel free to go check out one of my other videos. Until next time, bye!